In our review of the expanded universe, we've been going through two areas of the timeline, the post Return of the Jedi and the Ancient Republic eras. However, for September, we're going to do something different. We're going to spend the month reviewing the massive multimedia project Shadows of the Empire. I considered calling this month September of the Empire, but I decided that would have been far too confusing, so here we are. Shadows of the Empire was a story told across several different types of media, often referred to as a movie without the movie. For the month of September, we'll discuss the project as a whole this time, and then cover the book, game, and comic series across the next three installments. With that explanation out of the way, let's dive in. The 1990s was a pivotal time for the expanded universe. First of all, 1991 saw the unofficial creation of the expanded universe with the release of Heir to the Empire. Don't worry, I'm not going to rehash the importance of the Thrawn trilogy to Star Wars. I've done that plenty up to this point. After its success, the EU began expanding rapidly as books, games, and comics were released, constantly fleshing out the lore. After the Thrawn trilogy, we saw the Truce at Bakura in 1993, the Courtship of Princess Leia, and the Jedi Academy trilogy, and the Crystal Star in 1994, and the loosely related Callista trilogy and the Corellian trilogy in 1995. Then, in 1996, Lucasfilm released its most ambitious project yet, a full film rollout, including a novelization, video game adaptation, comic series, and even a toy line. The only thing missing was the film. Shadows of the Empire takes the franchise, which up to this point had been focused solely post Return of the Jedi, back to the original trilogy era, telling the story of the brief period of time between The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. Han Solo has been frozen in carbonite and is on his way to Jabba the Hutt. The Rebel Alliance is in full retreat after some devastating defeats at the hands of the Empire. And Luke Skywalker has been shouldered with the burden of freeing a galaxy that is sorely missing the Jedi. Added into the mix is a dashing Han Solo clone, a charismatic criminal mastermind, and a plot to unseat none other than Darth Vader himself. At its most basic, Shadows of the Empire consists of three primary narrative lines: the hunt for Han Solo, the continued training of Luke Skywalker, and the plot to kill Luke and discredit Vader. In order to accomplish these narratives, the project introduces a few new characters that quickly became very popular when compared with their actual usage in the EU as a whole, and fleshed out some previously existing characters or events. The most influential of these new characters was Prince Shizor, Phaelin leader of the criminal organization Black Sun and advisor to Emperor Palpatine. Shizor is one of the last surviving members of his royal house from the planet of Phaelin, who holds a significant grudge against Darth Vader, as well as the underlord of an intergalactic crime syndicate, an organization so powerful and influential that even Palpatine looks the other way concerning its activities. After learning that Palpatine has tasked Vader with apprehending Luke Skywalker, he decides to set his criminal organization to kill Luke to foil Vader's plan and usurp him as the Emperor's #1 agent. Shizor is a cold and calculating villain. He executes his plans with ruthless efficiency, a result of his reptilian nature. As a Phaelin, Shizor is immensely strong, able to lift his own body weight over his head, and is able to release pheromones that can beguile others, particularly mammalian beings. He is opulently rich due to his criminal syndicate activities and has full access to a wide variety of assassins and thugs to do his bidding, while keeping his hands clean. He is cold and calculating and hatches scheme after scheme to eliminate his enemies and improve his position in the galactic order. His most trusted advisor is Guri, a human replica droid serving as Shizor's chief lieutenant and personal assistant. As a human replica droid, Guri is a perfect replica of a gorgeous woman with full human capabilities, even in intimate detail. Due to her unique position in Shizor's organization, Guri has been programmed with battle assessment and assassination techniques, making her an unsuspecting yet ruthless killer. She is ultimately loyal to Shizor, having been programmed to serve him in all circumstances. The last of the major characters introduced in Shadows of the Empire are Dash Rendar and his droid companion Lebo. Dash is basically a Han Solo stand-in for a story without Han Solo. He is brash, egotistical, and cocky. He's also a very capable pilot and a tough fighter. Dash is introduced as a mercenary hired by Leia to locate Boba Fett so that he can be intercepted before he delivers Han to Jabba the Hutt. Obviously, we know that they do not succeed in this endeavor, but the attempt is an interesting tale. Dash is an honorable man who makes sure to get top dollar for his services. He flies a YT-2400 light freighter called the Outrider along with his droid navigator, Lebo. There are other characters and plot lines, but they could best be discussed in the later videos that focus on one of the different types of media that encompass this project because each one tells a different part of the Shadows of the Empire story, and to various kinds of detail that all need to be put together and harmonized. As part of this multimedia film without a film project, Lucasfilm produced a novelization, a video game, a comic series, a soundtrack, and a toy line. We won't discuss the toy line other than to say that it was just another step up for the storyline to see the different characters added to the Hasbro action figures. We'll also skip a video dedicated to the soundtrack, but we will feature it in the video game discussion because there's a lot of overlap between the two. That leaves the novel, the video game, and the comics, which we'll cover over the next 3 weeks. Shadows of the Empire was an ambitious project, which consisted of some ambitious projects, particularly the video game, but more on that later. The results are hit or miss, but Lucasfilm definitely gets points for reaching for the stars. Overall, I liked the project and its various different moving pieces. As the expanded universe was unfolding, we were getting a lot of post Return of the Jedi content taking place anywhere from one day after the movie all the way up to 14 years after. Shadows of the Empire is a refreshing offering just based upon its unique setting between Empire and Jedi. There is a completely different atmosphere to the book, as we return to a time when the Empire is still powerful. Darth Vader is on the hunt for the rebels, and Luke is still trying to figure out his Jedi powers. In the grand scheme of things, Shadows of the Empire is a great addition to the expanded universe and is a fun adventure to experience. Before we get into the constituent parts, I can give a general approval of the project. We'll talk more in depth with the individual properties as we come to them. So, are you familiar with the Shadows of the Empire? If so, what's your favorite property under the multimedia umbrella? Would you have liked for Lucasfilm to have done something like this again? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.